Okay, welcome back. We're still doing a couple more examples here in angles of parallel lines. Okay, finding angles of when we have parallel lines and they're cut by transversals. Looking here at example 2, it says find the indicated angle measures for the shape below. Now, these two lines here are parallel. I know it's a triangle here. Okay, but what we can do is we still have parallel lines. So there's two transversals here. So if we want, we can find whatever really pattern we want. We could do. We could, for instance, we could look at a C pattern or an F pattern. It'd be kind of hard to do a Z pattern here, but that's okay. So let's look here. If I have my transversal, now this is going to be an upside down F. Look, I have a F here. So see the F? Boom, makes an F. Okay, but it's upside down. Okay, what it says is then this 65-degree angle has to be equal to B. So this is the corresponding angle theorem, or the F pattern, and so that means that B equals to 65 degrees. B equals 65 degrees by the corresponding angles, or the F pattern. Okay? Well, if B is that, okay, well, I could also make a C here, and C is the, if you look all the way back here, oh, where was the C? C was the co-interior angle theorem. Okay, so by the co-interior angle theorem, I know that A plus 65 degrees has to equal to 180 degrees by the co-interior angles, because they're co-interior angles. Okay, so that means that A equals to 180 minus 65, well, what would that be? 115 degrees. Okay, so that's A. And that's that example, done. Now, one more. Find the indicated angle measures for the shape below. So now if I'm looking here, I have two parallel lines again, and there's two transversals in this one. Okay, but now it might look a little overwhelming, but we know a whole bunch of stuff here. Well, I also have these sides here are the same length, and if these sides here are the same length, that makes this whole thing here, this is a triangle here, you see, formed by this. That makes this an isosceles triangle. And if I have an isosceles triangle, that means that this angle B and this angle C are equal. So I can already right away go B equals C by isosceles triangle. I-S-O-C-L-E-S triangle. Now I can also go ahead and look at this and say, well, I can see a C here. Okay, so I know that E plus 64, this is an E, plus 64 has to equal to 180 by the co-interior angles. Okay, or the C rule. Okay, co-interior angles. So that means that E has to equal to 180 minus 64, which is 116 degrees. 116 degrees. Okay, so E equals to 116. So this is 116 degrees. Well, now this is pretty cool because this helps me solve for A, because if I look over here now, I can make a Z here. Well, this angle E has to be equal to A by the alternate angle, so I know E has to equal to A by the alternate angles, or the Z pattern. Okay. And now, okay, so that means that A also equals to 116 degrees. Okay, so A also equals to 116 degrees. And now, oh, I know B is equal to C, but I know that A plus B plus C has to equal 180. So I know A plus B plus C has to equal to 180. And I know B equals C. So I know that they both have to be the same, and A is 116, so I know that B plus C has to equal to 180 minus 116 degrees. Well, 180 minus 116 degrees is, what, 64 degrees? So that means both B and C have to be 32 degrees. So that means B has to equal C equals to 32 degrees. So I have B equals C equals 32 degrees. What have I not solved for yet? I have not solved for D. So I have to solve for this angle here, D. But I know that E plus C plus D has to equal to 180 because this is a straight line here. This here is a straight line. So I know E plus C plus D has to equal 180. I know that E plus C plus D has to equal to 180. And I know E and I know C. So I know E is 116 degrees. I know C is 32 degrees. Plus D has to equal 180 degrees. So let's solve this. Well, 116 plus 32 is equal to 148. So I know 148 degrees plus D has to equal to 180 degrees. Okay. And if that's the case, then D has to equal to 180 minus 148, which is 32 degrees. Alright, good. So I've got D, I've got A, whoops, A, I've got E, and I've got B and C. And we're done. Alright, that concludes the lessons on angles and parallel lines. Okay, so you'll do the practice, and see you in the next video.